can't say no. We as landlords, we have to accept everyone. Hi, my name is Jeroen from down to South London. Today I'm going to be talking about DSS discrimination. So what is DSS? Well, the Department of Social Services, or Local Housing Allowance, or Housing Benefit, now replaced with Universal Credit, however you'd like to name it. People that are claiming money from the government in order to pay for private housing. Now, a lot of the times people will come to you and they say, oh, do you accept benefits? It's quite common to see adverts in a spare room or in open rent, Rightmove, Zoopla, what have you, to have a blanket ban on DSS claimants. No DSS, it will say. Now, that has been found to be discriminatory. You can't discriminate based on age, sex, race, all that sort of thing. Now, being a benefit claimant wasn't specifically defined in the Equality Act. You're right there. However, cases have actually gone to court and people have come to the decision that if there is a blanket ban on DSS claimants, then that is discriminatory. So, how do we get around that? Well, let me tell you more. In some cases, you can't get around this because your mortgage company will have a ban on you letting your property to housing benefit claimants. Now, in actual fact, this probably makes them fall foul of this this discrimination, but you don't want to get sued by some disgruntled benefit tenant that has gone to an ambulance chasing lawyer on a no-win, no-fee to come after you. Let them go after the mortgage companies and let it be someone else's problem. How do we protect you, the investor, you, the landlord? Well, you need to do this. Now, a bit of background. A lot of the times people have avoided letting to benefit tenants anyway because they're getting paid by the government, and the local councils, they have been encouraging bad tenants to get landlords to trust them, let them down, break the terms of their tenancy agreements, and if anyone's gone through the eviction process, they always stay put until the bailiffs come. Now, that costs landlords thousands, so I'm not surprised that landlords do not want anything to do with money coming from the government to house these people. They might be the nicest people in the world, but dealing with the local authority to get your money is quite a painful process. They always pay in arrears, it takes weeks, many forms, it's a hassle. It's a hassle that, quite frankly, as landlords can do without, because there's enough red tape when you're letting your property, isn't there? The flip side is, of course, that once it's all set up, the payment is fairly reliable. The tenant can't lose their job because they've probably already lost it. The claim is there, it's been paying out, it will pay out in the future, unless, of course, circumstances change. Now, the caveat with payments as well is that I would say, if you are going to go down this route, get the payment from the tenant, not straight from the local council, because they can actually claw it back up to 6 years if the tenant is found to have made a fraudulent claim. So back to the original point, how do we stay legal? Well, you can't have a blanket ban, as I mentioned, because it's unfair and it's discriminatory and all that sort of business. So what can you do? Take each tenant on their individual merits. I would highly recommend that you make sure that you meet them so that these benefit tenants do not look like Onslow from Keeping Up Appearances, and they don't want to keep their battered Ford Cortina in the front garden housing a dog. You need to be able to meet the tenants and get a feel for them. Make sure they're of a respectable caliber, they come with good references, especially from their previous landlord, and ask them why they're moving as well. There's got to be some kind of reason for them wanting to move. Are they upsizing? Are they downsizing? Are they changing area? Are they in it for the long run? Are they local? Are they from further afield? All sorts of questions spring to mind. One of my qualifying questions is always, why are you moving? What happened? Did they fall out with the neighbors? Did they fall out with other flatmates perhaps? There could be all sorts of reasons. But ultimately, I feel that at the moment, especially with what's going on in the world, housing benefit tenants are not to be dismissed straight away, albeit that you must be careful that their housing allowance covers the rent or is very close to that, because if not, they will have to top it up. So they must have some form of income in order to top up these payments. The local housing allowance, for example, in Southwark is £145 for a shared room per week. So if you were letting a professional type-ish room, it can easily go into 150, 180 a week. So also when you're letting out HMO rooms and you're mixing tenant types, there could be a problem there as well. Now, your tenant has to feel comfortable in their own home. So apart from saying, oh, I don't accept DSS tenants, sorry, you say, are you comfortable with living in a house share with people that work all day, or people that are of a different mindset than you? They have a job, you don't, you'll be at home all day. Is that really for you? It's the same thing when you start mixing students with professionals. They just have different life goals at the moment. Students might be partying till deep in the night, professionals won't be. It's a bad idea to mix the two. You could simply reject them based on suitability. It's not that they are a benefit claimant, it's more about their lifestyle, their living patterns and behaviours, and so on and so forth. There's plenty of other qualifiers, not just the fact that they claim benefits, of course. So just be mindful of that. If you like what I've got to say, remember to subscribe to the Down to South London podcast and the YouTube channel. Click subscribe down below, and see you next time.